up, everyone? Boy, I love the DRZ. But I would sure like to see the next generation of this bike, and that's what I want to talk about on this vlog here. What the next DRZ could be like. So Suzuki's been building this bike since 1999. Very little change. They basically started off with the off-road only version, the E model of this bike. Then they later, I think it was in 01, which is what this is, and they introduced the S model. And the only real major changes was DOT tires and smaller carb kind of de-stricted the engine. And then, and I think it was 05, they introduced the SM model, and the SM model inverted forks, different swing arm, and 17-inch rims front back, bigger front brake, same engine, everything in the middle part basically exactly the same as the S model. And they've been building the bike ever since then. It's been the same bike virtually, you know, for over 10 years now, over a decade they've been building this bike. And the only thing they change year to year is all new graphics. I swear to God, one of the ones that came out like maybe a year or two ago looked like they just slapped random plastics from all the different models on there at once. It was hilarious. Oh, if you got that one, I'm sorry. Don't worry, plastics are cheap. You can replace them. But, you know, I think it'd be cool if we saw them build another one. I mean, I understand the bikes work so well. Why, you know, why change it? I understand why they left it the same for so long. But, you know, I've been on like Supermoto Junkies and Thumper Talk and some other forums long enough to know that people would love another version of this bike, a newer one. And people will be willing to spend money on it. I think I got an idea on what people would really like to see out of the next version of one of these bikes. And I thought about it in quite a lot of detail. Maybe someone from Suzuki will check this out and they'll build it just like this. So I think if you look right now, they have a DRZ500, which have 3 models, and they have the DRZ650. I think that's 4 models. I think we can replace all those with just 2 models. And that'll be a dual sport model and a supermoto model. And I think we could just replace all of them with one. Or, I mean, 2 models, yeah. It'd basically be 1 model with 2 trims, or whatever you want to call it. Which would always be better for money for the manufacturer, I think. It was less production line, you know. But hopefully sell more bikes. So, like, I'm thinking the next version of this bike should probably be like the DRZ500, you know. And honestly, built right, it will make more power than the 650. You know, the 650 I don't think really even makes any more horsepower than the 400, from what I understand. Just a bit more torque and grunt. So a 500 built correctly should make all of us happy and still be very reliable. But let's start like with just the frame for basics. We've always had kind of like on the DRZ models, just like any manufacturer, when they build sort of like a detuned like trail version of a bike, you almost like you get older frames, older engines that have been detuned. I don't really see the necessary point in that. Why can't we just have a good twin spar frame for the next DRZ? You know, aluminum frame, you know, not one with the frame running up the stair like this, but with the 2 bits of frame running up each side, like a twin spar, I believe is how they call that. Different manufacturers have different names for it, but that's usually called a twin spar frame. I might be wrong, I might be an idiot, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So something like that, aluminum too. We gotta bring the weight down to make everyone happy. Which, you know, I'm not trying to tell you to build the ultimate dream bike here with unlimited costs. I'm trying to think realistically in a price range that people would pay for the bike. So I'm thinking, you know, I think you can do it though. I think we can put an aluminum frame on there without blowing a budget out. So, after the frame there, you know, let's also put, you know, whatever, a nice linkage and good shock, and front forks need to be inverted, whichever model it is. There's no reason to run standard forks anymore. It's not a big deal. Something with a lot of tuners though. We want to be able to adjust as much as we can on it, because I understand it's hard to tune a bike these days when you have, you know, it seems like every bike you sit on is too soft, but I understand, you know, you got riders that weigh any certain weights and heights, and they have to try to build a sort of neutral suspension. I feel like they always build a little bit on the light side still, but there's long as it's got enough clickers on it, we can get it into the ballpark. That would be great. So beyond that, then obviously we need to have like a 21, an 18 or 19 inch rim version with knobbies, thinner wheels, and then a 17-inch version. On the rear swing arm on the SM, we'll probably have to run a different swing arm, just like they do now. Well, here's the thing I'm thinking. Right now, you run a 4 1/4 inch rim on the SM model. That's what I'm running actually on my converted SM or S model. And it's fine, honestly. A 150 tire is a good tire when you put the right tire and profile on a 4 1/4 inch. You know, and a lot of people want to cram a 160 on there, and there's not really a need for that. But I would like it if they were to put like a 4 3/4 or 5-inch rear rim on it, so you can fit a 160. And the biggest reason I want to put a 160 on the rear is just for the tire options. There's so many better tires you can put on there when you have the option of a 160. 150 is always like, they have to order it, they have to find it from somewhere. Sometimes you get a tire and it's probably been sitting somewhere forever because it's all hard as shit. And that's happened to me once, so I mean, I would love to see 160 available on the rear. Beyond that, then, obviously a big brake setup on the front on the other one. Let's talk about the engine, for instance. The current engine in the DRZ is fucking reliable, man. It works great. There's just a few things. For one, like I said, maybe a 500cc version of it. You know, I think done correctly, you could get a horsepower. You know, the DRZ stock only makes like 35 horsepower. I think mine modified. I'm not sure where it's at, but I think it would be good to see one around 45 horsepower stock. And some of you out there go, that sounds like shit, but thinking that's a reliable, not a motocross engine. It's a very reliable engine right there we're talking about what the DRZ is. And besides, everyone already knows you can modify these things, keep them very reliable, and get lots of horsepower out of them. I mean, there's a guy out in Colorado who takes DRZ engines, turns them into 470s, and they make 70 horsepower, 60, 70 horsepower, and they're still super reliable. If some guy out of Colorado can do that, I see no reason why the Japanese R&R department for Suzuki can't do the same thing. So that's, you know, a 500cc engine. Let's put like titanium valves in it. That'll just make it last longer. It's not a big deal. You already do it in your crotch rockets. You know, those take a lot more than this one needs. We just need 4. Just go grab 4 off the assembly line when you build one of these. And that would be a bad idea. Try to build a valve, put the same valves out of another bike that already has titanium valves. Just build it. You know, you can save money. As far as the cam chain tensioner is concerned, y'all have never been able to get that right. Why don't you put gear-driven cams in the damn thing, and then there's just no issues, period, ever. That would be a great idea. Then we wouldn't have to put manual tensioners on ours and have to worry about adjusting them all the time. So, done that, got all that correct. Let's put a 6-speed transmission in it. You know I was going to say that. Got to have a 6-speed transmission. Everybody wants it. It's got to be there. I think, honestly, the ratio in this transmission, as it sits right now, is perfect minus the 6th gear. So right now I'm just cruising at 57 because there's no one behind me, which feels great in 5th gear. Let's bring it up to 70 real fast. Boy, I'd love to shift right now. Thank God the engine's built like a fucking tank, so it's not going to hurt it to do this. But, you know, it's just, you want to shift it. There's no reason. It needs another gear. Put another gear in there. On the SM model, if you could keep it within budget, I'd love to see a slipper clutch. Not super necessary, but I'd love to see it in there. Because no one wants to spend $1,000 aftermarket for one, I can tell you that. And then, just open my sunglasses up, and then fuel injection. And this shouldn't even be that hard because you already put it on the LTZ500, which is the same engine as the DRZ. You've just made it fuel injected. So there shouldn't be a lot of R&D that has to go into adapting fuel injection, but clearly we all want fuel injection on the next DRZ. And if they've converted it like I did mine and put the flat slide carb, yeah, that fucking works awesome. I love this carburetor. But again, it's still subject to problems with carburetors where altitude change, humidity change outside, all these things will affect the temperature. And, you know, once you got it dialed in right, yes, it does work really well. It doesn't really affect it that noticeably, but it can make a difference in it. For fuel injection, wonderful. Love me some fuel injection. So please, please, please put fuel injection on the next DRZ. And let's see, where else can I talk about? I mean, the exhaust I know is probably going to be shitty, heavy, and have a catalytic converter in it and an O2 sensor. That's fine, we're gonna take that off anyway. Put whatever's cheap on there. I don't give a fuck about the stock exhaust. That's day one shit. It's coming off right away. Beyond that, I mean, you know, oh, the dash. I would love to see not a block, but just the thing in here. I mean, this is nice. It's digital. I'm glad y'all didn't put the old ones that look like airplane gauges in here. Because it wouldn't have been that far off. This is probably pretty hardcore for a dirt bike at 99. But what I'd love to see now is something with a tack on it. I don't need a whole gauge over here. I don't need like a big stupid gauge. Just something with like a little bar graph for the tachometer would be sweet. That would be cool. And I mean, gear indicator, that would be kind of cool. That's not a big deal. I mean, looking at my bike, it already has a factory gear indicator on it. Like, if you look, take the sensor off it, I don't know if the computer actually knows or just only checks for it's in neutral, but you guys already kind of built that in there. It always cracks me up. Like, why didn't they just go ahead and put a, whatever, you know, but like something cool, like a little like bar tack or something, you know, maybe speedo right here, make it kind of slim. You know, obviously your odometer, all that shit, turn signals, everything. Yeah. And then as far as like the bodywork and everything is concerned, I'm not a fucking graphics guy or anything. I'm not even going to attempt to try to draw something. I don't even know. That's not my field, man. Supermoto doing it big. Oh, there's the thing there. Uh-oh, hopefully nobody got dead. But, you know, that's what we want to see. The graphic work would be kind of cool to see something a little more slim, a little more modern. Yeah, I'm wheeling as an ambulance passes me. So, that covers that. And for the final numbers, I mean, you know, like I said, 45 horsepower. Good. Honestly, the dimensions of this bike are fine with me. I'm not going to try to get into that. Price range. If you guys could run it around $7,500 bucks, that'd be cool. Now, since I know Suzuki ain't listening to this shit, I'm just talking to my subscribers. What do you guys think, man? Am I asking too much, or should I ask for more? I mean, we all want our dream bike, but I'm trying to think realistic within a budget, you know? $7,500 for that bike right there. Yeah, that's about 15 more than you pay out the door for a Suzuki right now for one of these DRZs. But if they could run it in that range, I'd buy one. I would spend that much on one of these. I think that would be fucking awesome. Anyways, y'all tell me what you think. I know this is going on way too long, but it's my fucking dream bike, so just deal with it, you know? Later. Like there's like wives calling people right now going, where are you? I'm stuck in traffic. Are you cheating on me? No, honey, I'm stuck in traffic. You fucking bastard! Well, I've been cheating on you too. What?